Recent studies show that certain daily habits can literally slow down your body's aging without you even realizing it. While many believe that reaching 100 years old is pure genetic luck, science is revealing something surprising. The secret may lie in small actions repeated every single day. In this video, we'll uncover exactly what these people do and why your body is responding to everything you do or stop doing. Comment: I want to live past 100 with health. Most people associate aging only with wrinkles, gray hair, or loss of energy. But what science reveals is something much more subtle and profound. Aging is actually a silent process that begins settling in the body decades before visible signs appear. Research shows that as early as age 30, the body begins to accumulate microcellular damage, low-grade inflammation, and hormonal changes that, when added up over time, accelerate physical and cognitive wear. This process often goes unnoticed because it doesn't hurt, doesn't cause immediate symptoms, and hides in the fatigue that society calls normal. However, studies indicate that certain daily habits have the power to directly interfere with this process, slowing down or even reversing part of the cellular damage when practiced consistently. Among the various habits of people who live beyond 100 years, one stands out for its simplicity and profound impact: daily natural walking. It may seem too obvious, almost trivial, but that's precisely why this habit is ignored by most. In a world driven by high-performance gyms, miraculous methods, and exhausting routines, walking every day for 20 to 40 minutes seems insufficient. However, what centenarians show us is the opposite. Regularity beats intensity. Science observes that walking daily, especially outdoors, activates a chain of beneficial physiological processes involving the cardiovascular system, metabolism, brain, and even mood. In regions known as blue zones, where there's a high concentration of people over 100 years old, walking is not an exercise. It's part of everyday life. They walk to visit neighbors, fetch water, contemplate nature, and they do it unhurriedly but consistently. This habit, although accessible, is often ignored because it doesn't deliver immediate results. There's no excessive sweating, no visible muscle gain, or sense of extreme effort. But the impact happens in the invisible: hormonal regulation, improved brain oxygenation, reduction of inflammatory markers, and metabolic balance. Walking, contrary to what many think, is not passive. It's an active agent of longevity. Moreover, daily walking acts on multiple areas of the body simultaneously. It affects everything from leg muscles to heart rate, passing through neurotransmitter release and lymphatic system activation. That is, it's a simple action that sets off an internal biological orchestra. And because of that, even when underestimated, it's one of the hidden pillars of extreme vitality. This habit is ignored because it has been devalued by modern immediacy. But for those seeking not just to live longer but to live better for longer, daily walking is a strategic choice. The secret is not in doing more, but in doing consistently. The body responds to what is repeated, and in this case, it responds with vigor, mental clarity, and extra years of life. When you walk regularly, even at a light pace, your entire body enters an intelligent and coordinated movement. Each step triggers a series of physiological responses that, over time, reprogram aging. In the cells, for example, walking stimulates the production of mitochondria, small power plants responsible for keeping your tissues alive and active. Studies indicate that this increase in cellular efficiency helps delay programmed cell death, one of the main markers of premature aging. In terms of inflammation, walking acts as a natural anti-inflammatory. Research shows that individuals who walk consistently have lower levels of inflammatory cytokines, such as interleukin-6, IL-6, and tumor necrosis factor, TNF-alpha, which are substances associated with chronic diseases and functional decline. This reduction in inflammation decreases the risk of heart disease, neurodegenerative, and metabolic conditions, promoting smoother and more stable aging. From a hormonal standpoint, walking helps balance the release of cortisol, the stress hormone. Unlike high-intensity exercises, which can increase oxidative stress, walking induces a state of active relaxation, favoring hormonal homeostasis. At the same time, it stimulates the release of endorphins, neurotransmitters that promote well-being and are directly linked to motivation, mental clarity, and even sleep quality. The brain also responds enthusiastically to movement. Science observes that regular walks activate the hippocampus, a region essential for memory and learning. This continuous activation is associated with neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons, especially in the elderly. That is, far from being just a physical exercise, walking deeply nourishes the brain, protecting against cognitive decline and even dementias such as Alzheimer's. Biologically, the human body was shaped to move. And when you honor that design with regular and sustainable movements like walking, you trigger genetic codes linked to survival, balance, and renewal. Light, continuous, and natural movement is interpreted by the organism as a sign of safety, not threat, which promotes internal adjustments that favor longevity. By incorporating daily walking into your routine, the first effects don't take long to appear. In the short term, the body responds with more energy, balance, and focus. This happens because blood flow increases, delivering more oxygen to the brain and muscles. This improvement in brain oxygenation creates an immediate sense of mental clarity, helping with concentration, mood, and even decision-making. In addition, there's a slight rise in metabolic rate, which helps regulate weight and hormonal balance. Even within the first few days, a deeper and more restorative sleep is often noticed. This is due to the direct impact of walking on cortisol and melatonin levels, naturally adjusting the biological clock. The body, when moving in natural rhythms, sends regulation signals that reduce anxiety and improve physical and mental recovery. Emotional balance starts to be restored, not by force, but by physiological alignment. As weeks and months pass, the effects deepen. The consistent practice of walking reduces chronic inflammatory markers and strengthens the immune system. This silent strengthening allows the body to react better to infections, injuries, and even everyday stress. Internally, the organs begin to function more efficiently, and the risk of developing cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and dementias begins to decrease significantly. In the long term, the brain transforms. Neuroplasticity increases, creating new neural connections and keeping memory active for longer. Studies show that elderly individuals who walk daily have greater brain volume and preserve cognitive functions for decades. The brain protection provided by walking is not just statistical, it is real, visible in scans, and felt in the mental clarity that remains alive even after the age of 80 or 90. Finally, at the deepest level, daily walking activates genes associated with longevity. Studies in epigenetics reveal that simple habits like this can influence gene expression. In other words, walking changes how your genes behave. Instead of accelerating aging, the body enters a constant state of regeneration, causing vitality to extend far beyond what was once believed possible. Longevity is not a mystery reserved for a few privileged people. Science shows, more and more clearly, that it is the small habits, repeated with consistency, that define the quality and duration of our lives. Daily walking, so simple and often underestimated, has deep and measurable effects on the body and mind. More than a physical activity, it is a biological signal of balance, regeneration, and physiological intelligence. By walking every day, you're not just moving. You're telling your body that you want to live with health for much longer. The science of longevity is evolving, but one thing is already clear. Living well means respecting the body's natural rhythm and applying knowledge with consistency. It's not about finding a shortcut, but building a path. And that path begins with simple decisions, like putting on your shoes and taking the first steps. Maybe the secret to living past 100 has never been in complex formulas, but in what you do every day without noticing. If this content helped you see aging differently, subscribe to the channel now. In the next videos, we'll reveal even less known habits, but ones that science has already proven to be powerful allies for mental health, lasting energy, and a long, active life. Comment below, "I want to live with clarity and vitality past 100."